What was I talking about? Right, the panel. Guys, at the panel, we had this game. Where they put a picture behind you and you try and ask yes or no questions to guess what it is, right? And mine was Somi. It's just really simple. Somi, right? And I was doing, I'm just going to say, I was gaming. I was doing optimal question asking to figure everything out. First thing I said was like, I don't remember exactly, like you probably can see the thing. I was like, is it an animal? They said, yes, it's an animal. I'm like, okay, it's an animal. I know tons of animals, but I'm gonna try and narrow it down with absolute like pristine quality. So I'm like, how big is it? Is it like smaller than this? Smaller than this? And I determined it was a fairly small animal. And then I was like, is it in South America? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, South America has a lot of animals. There's like rainforests or just jungles and stuff there, right? Or whatever. Like very diverse animals there. And I was like, that's surprising. And I said, is it in Africa? Is it in like the Lion King? And they're like, no, it's not in Africa. And it's not in the Lion King. And I'm like, wait, how though? Like, there's so, like, I feel like Africa is one of the most diverse continents. And then I'm like, is it in Antarctica, Asia, like Europe, anything? And I was like, how on earth is it not on like 6 of the 7 continents? There's no animal in existence, I feel like, that exists in terms of like, let's say, for example, like, I don't know, like an eagle or something, right? Like maybe there's a specific American eagle that doesn't exist in other places, right? But I'm like, if it was an eagle, you definitely could say there's an eagle in some other place, right? So like, I keep guessing and I'm like, how is there an animal? And I'm like, what animal exists in North America? Because I was thinking species that doesn't exist on 6 of the 7 continents. I felt like it was impossible. So I was like hard stuck. Because I was like, I just don't think there's an animal in North America, a species of animal, that doesn't exist in any other continent. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, I feel like I'm not an animal expert. But that's just so unlikely. So I was trying to think, what animal is only in North America that doesn't exist anywhere else? I couldn't think of it. Then I was like, I'm just going to go Pipiga. I'm just going to guess the most obvious. Is it a cat? And they're like, it's a cat. And I was like, it's a cat? There's definitely cats in Africa. Like, what kind of... And then I was so thrown off because I was like, what do you mean there's no cats in Asia or Africa? That's impossible. There's like dozens of cats. And then that's when I was kind of like, wait a minute. It's like one specific cat. And that's where it all made sense. But it was just crazy how long it took. Because I thought I was doing optimal decisions, which kind of were for like a species of animal. I didn't think it was a very specific like thing. But at least it was funny. It was funny. So I did. That was more fun than I thought.